On this episode of the Love and Truth podcast, this is not about blaming men, blaming exes, or rehearsing what someone else did wrong. This conversation is about asking the deeper question: what have I ignored, excused, rushed, tolerated, or repeated that may be connected to why I am still single? The goal is to help single women pause and reflect on how they enter relationships, why they stay too long, why they settle, why they overlook red flags, and why they sometimes choose connection before healing.
Hello, welcome to the Love and Truth podcast. I am James, along with my beautiful co-host wife, Miss
Lanae.
And we're so excited about today's episode. We're going to be dealing with a couple of things today. Number one, this question: why are you really single? What's really going on? You know, is it them? Is it you? Is it a combination? Like, what's really going on? So we're going to deal with that topic on today. And then we're also going to talk about we've got an author on the set today, so we'll give her an opportunity to introduce herself. But before we do that, let us introduce our guest that we have today. So just kind of your name, where you're from, and whatever else you want to share with the audience. And
I'm Katina Chancellor. I live here in Houston, moved here from Arizona. I'm a single mom. I'm single. I'm single. And I'm a mom of 6 children.
Okay.
A
Welcome.
grandma of 5.
Okay.
G-Mom.
G-mom.
Okay.
You're not giving that. You're giving me youthful.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello, Houston. It's Tasha Cross, and I'm here on the Love and Truth podcast. Just ready to jump on why am I really still single?
Okay. Welcome. Both second-time guests, by the way.
Yes,
They've
they
been on the
are.
show
Yes.
before, so glad to have both of you back.
Yeah.
Glad to be back.
And we've got Mrs.
Bridget Priscilla, second time back.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on the Love and Truth podcast. I do live in Houston. I'm a single mom of 2 boys, and I am an author. I did write 2 books, Too Grown for Games, and also The Ageless Woman Playbook. And you can find me on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Bridget Priscilla.
Priscilla. Okay.
Priscilla is Priscilla. And yeah,
Okay. Well, good.
again, I'm single.
Single. So we're excited. We're going to start talking about, but I know you wanted to share something as well, because we're going to get into the book that you wrote, and
Yes.
we'll jump into that. But I know you wanted to share something as well.
I did. I wanted to share that this is my friend, and if you don't have a Bridget, you don't have a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is she a good friend, but she is an author. She is a stylist. She is an insurance agent. She's a claims adjuster. She's a notary. What else are you, honey?
I'm a loan officer, and I'm single.
Yes. Single. Not just single.
Single.
It has to be
Single.
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 Right. Okay.
There's a difference.
It is
We're
a
gonna talk
difference.
about that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the difference. Are you single or you're single? Okay, so let's talk about this book. Too Grown for Games. What inspired you to write the book, and how long have you been sitting on it, and just why now?
Okay, so Too Grown for Games,
mean-
there's 2 books, and then
Okay.
you also have The Ageless Woman Playbook. I've been sitting on the book for about maybe 10 years now.
Okay.
And it's been in my mind. I always wanted to bring it to fruition and bring it to reality. But what really inspired me to write the book was just life lessons,
Okay.
hard experiences, dealing with situations that you know you don't align with,
Right.
putting up with things that you feel like you have to put up because you have kids,
Right.
and so on and so forth. So to make a long story short, just being in a situation, living the experiences, dealing with things that I knew that I didn't feel comfortable with, but I continue to live with them and deal with them because of the current situation is what actually inspired the books. So I know many of us, we do that.
Yeah,
We
and you
do
know,
that.
and we're going to jump into that too, because I think several of the questions have everything to deal with that. So sitting on it for 10 years, so, anybody that likes to, cook, I mean, sometimes the things got to sit to get all of the flavor and all of the seasoning and all of the experience and all of that into it. So definitely looking forward to reading that. So, okay, so I know you wrote the book.
Yes.
So I know what inspired you to write the book. We kind of heard that. So what do you expect the readers to take away from the book? What are the 2 or 3 things that you want them to take away from it?
I want people to understand that love should never cost you your self-respect. And I want them to recognize the red flags sooner than later.
Right.
Yeah.
And understand what a healthy relationship really looks like.
Yeah.
That's what I want people to take away from the book.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, those some good
That's some good
takeaways.
takeaways.
Right.
Okay.
So where can they find the book?
So you can find the book on my Stan store. So that's Stan, STAN .store, STORE, Bridget Priscilla, and that's Bridget BRIDGETT PRISCILLA.
Okay.
And a lot of times you can find it on my Instagram, my Facebook, my TikTok, because I definitely have the link in my bio.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome.
And I'm pretty sure it's running across the screen now. So.
That's absolutely okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
That's
All
good.
right, cool.
All right,
Looking
okay.
forward to that.
Yeah, y'all
reading
go
that.
purchase that book because I did, and what I've read so far, I'm like, well, I needed this earlier.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm good now, but if I would have read it and had those takeaways, because some of the things that I read was definitely me. So and it's not too late though. You know, because some of us are, as we get into this, we're repeating patterns. But we'll talk about that as well, right?
I needed it earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, I needed it for myself. And
But you were living it.
You were living
I was living it. Exactly. I lived it. And even where I sit today, I still need it.
Yeah.
I still need it. So it's a great book.
Awesome.
Well,
awesome. So we're ready to
gonna,
pivot.
yeah, because we're going to ask a question that sounds simple, but it lands pretty deep.
Okay.
Why are we really single? Not why did they leave? Why did they cheat? Oh, why did they not choose me? Why did I stay? Why did I stay? So what we want, the objective of this is we really want women that are single to hear us. And I know that a lot of people are going to be able to resonate with what we're saying. It's not about what the other person did. Let's move them out of the scenario. What was your part in the downfall of the relationship you entered into that did not last? Or the several, multiple, and the common denominator is me or you. So, Katina, let's start with you. Because baby, I love your story. And you have a for sure testimony, and you don't look like, smell like. We can't sense that those things that you've gone through, it's not showing up for us. So you have to talk to us and tell us.
Well, where do I start? Well, I'm single because I choose to be single at this age, at this point in my life. Where do I start, Jesus?
Well, this is where you can start. Tell us about one thing you can think of that you knew that you got into a relationship and you knew, you know what, I'm not supposed to be here, but you remained.
I remained, okay. I remained in these relationships because I wanted to fix the man. I wanted him to be what I wanted him to be. I wanted to fix him. And when you try to fix something, you stay longer than you need to stay, you know, because you're trying to build him up. And then you're staying on the pretense that he gonna change. He gonna get it together. And you'll waste your time and years investing in a person, not realizing he don't want you. That's not where he wanted to be. And you're spinning your wheel.
Yeah.
And when I came to the realization, you know, like, wait a minute. First of all, let me be honest with you, with everyone. The Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, he's not going to change because of you. He's going to change because of me, because of who God is. And when the Lord whispered that to me, to my spirit, then I realized I had to let it go.
Yeah.
Because I invested 11 years with someone, hoping and thinking, trying to do everything, being the part, cooking, cleaning, tending to the kids, doing all these things, but I was not the one. I was not who he wanted to be with.
Whew.
Interesting.
That's good. That's good.
And so
How many years?
it was 11 years.
So let me ask a really quick question, because I've heard this before about, people spending too much time. It doesn't matter if you're single or you're married. Either way, we spend too much time in places, right?
We do.
But question, what advice would you give to people about when they do get into a relationship? We're talking about time, because we think we got all the time in the world.
Can you pause for a second?
Yeah. Sure.
Because what she shared, I want to hear this, and then
Okay.
we'll get into some advice, because I want to hear
Okay.
perspective, because that's
Okay.
the changing, expecting him, and right now we're focused on women. The next episode we'll deal with men's perspective, but right now we're just dealing with women. So expecting him to change, you got you a fixer-upper, and you're trying to get him to where he needs to be. So, Tasha, what same experience? Have you gone through something similar?
I have, but my patience was very short.
Okay.
I've learned I got patience
Was
with
it 11
kids.
days? You had 11 years, 11 days?
No, it was an epiphany. Like, wait, hold on, it's too much. I'm working too hard to make you happy, and I'm uncomfortable. So I'm gonna let you be. And then too, for me, I got family. I got my cousins that are like big brothers that be like, girl, what you doing? Why are we what? Come on, I think. I know you know better than this. And then again, my whole thought process was totally different. It was like, you know what? You grown. If this what you want to do, or this where you want to be, let's make it happen. Because if I'm telling you, hey, you know what? I don't like when you do this and it bothers me. You don't love me enough to change. Go ahead. And I just didn't have enough time. So for me, I don't have a time frame. It was long enough for me to just realize this ain't worth it. Let me go ahead and cut these.
What made you stay
'Cause
longer than you did?
So great question, because I have no idea. It wasn't for my kids.
Good. But that's good, because some people don't know why.
And it wasn't. I was never the person to say, I'm gonna stay for my kids. Them kids, I don't care about you like that. No. We gonna make it. We gonna be straight. We gonna be okay, because mommy got this. So that was never my reason. It was never, I'm gonna stay because of the kids when they no, Tasha not happy, so I'm gonna need you to bounce, partner. But it was like I did put in my effort, because my thing is I will exhaust all my resources before I say, okay, I'm done. And that was it. Let's try the counseling. Let's try this. At that point, I was like, you don't wear your effort, because I don't see it. So how about this?
How much time was that, though? Give me a total. Give me just this estimate. 5 years, 10 years, 3 years.
That marriage was, maybe it was, when I got tired, it had to be like over 5 years.
Over 5 years.
Yeah. Okay.
So 5 years.
5 years. Okay.
We got 11-5. And so we're just talking about dealing with things when you know.
Right.
When you know, either you've heard that whisper and you still stayed, or you kind of tolerated it and stayed. Bridget, what about you? Like what?
For me, I was married for 16 years. It was a great marriage in the beginning. I think, and we had a son. So you really start to get to know people when you guys have kids, because at that point you realize who that person is, how they've been raised, how they feel about parenting and things like that. So for me, after we had our first son, I realized that I didn't really like his parenting styles. There was a lot of characteristics that I didn't like. I stayed because this was my second child, my first marriage, but my second child. I stayed because, and this was his first child, his first marriage as well. But I stayed because I did have a small child. My first son's dad was incarcerated, so I was a single mom. And I didn't want to repeat that cycle all over again.
Right.
I knew kind of early on that there were some things that I didn't like or agree with, but I felt like I could deal with them. I wasn't trying to change him because you can't change anybody but yourself or the situation.
Right.
So for me, when you get with someone, it's not about changing who you with. It's about loving that person. And if he's willing to change to fit the program that you guys are in. So I wasn't really trying to change him. I just wanted him to understand who I was, and I was trying to understand who he was. But eventually, it wasn't aligned. I wasn't comfortable. I stayed longer than I wanted to because, again, I didn't want to be a single mom again. I had a young son. It was his first child. We accumulated a lot of assets together.
Okay.
So it was definitely financial. So I knew if I took away that second income that I couldn't
Hold
all everything together. We had businesses, foreign cars, and all the things. So that's my reason for staying longer than I wanted to. And it's easy to say, "Oh, just leave, just leave." It's not that easy to just leave.
Yeah.
Because I'm not staying for the kids, but I am staying for the structure of my home and what I'm dealing with at the time. And I can't just drop the ball because I do have 2 kids. I do have bills and assets. So yeah, so I stayed longer to keep that structure together. And also, it was a look to the public too. I also stayed for the face value. Everybody thought we were this perfect couple. We looked so good together. 2 kids, a house, and a cute little dog.
Love perfect picture.
Little white Maltese. And so we did. We had the perfect look. So I stayed to the same face. The image. And I think a lot of us do that. So that was my reason.
So let me ask you a question. So and that was your marriage. So what you did there, do you see a repeat cycle when you're dating? Something that you're doing when you're dating?
That's a great question. Yes, I do. And the reason why is because a lot of times when we, in my opinion, when people are dating and they choose to date, you thinking you choosing to date someone because of attraction or money or chemistry. A lot of times, this is just my opinion, a lot of times we choose people to date on familiar. We're familiar with the, you know, like if you so used to chaos and then you get with somebody that's loving and kind and quiet, you're gonna feel bored and uncomfortable. Because you're used to dealing with chaos.
Yes.
So I think when we date people based on what we're used to, the patterns and the energy, what we're used to dealing with. Because a lot of times we don't even really know what good love is or what healthy relationship is.
Right.
So yes, I do find that my past relationship, I find myself picking and arguing and just talking a bunch of shit for no reason and creating issues that don't even exist.
Right.
Yeah,
because
that's good.
I was so used to chaos, so I felt like, oh, if it ain't chaotic, then it ain't love.
But this is so good because what we want other people to take away with, just in what you've heard, just in the short period of time, we need to know what our patterns are and what we have going on. Because if we're aware of those, and what we want to do right now, we're bringing awareness. This is not blaming. Nobody on here is gonna feel. Listen, this is past stuff. They passed that. We're just talking and saying what it is that we keep repeating so we don't repeat it in the next relationship, right? Because many women have allowed a good man to walk past them and out of their life because of what we are not willing to say, this is what I am doing and it's me, it's not the other party, right?
Yeah.
Did you have something to ask?
No. I just, a really good point about just those patterns, and you're looking for a certain type, but you're really looking for kind of like that same energy because you're comfortable in that space, right? Whether it's chaos, arguing, you just want to argue. Because silence and just quiet and peace sometimes don't feel comfortable. Because here's the other thing I wanted to say, and with all 3 of you, you were alluding to like avoidance. I wanted to avoid something. I wanted to avoid, being a single parent. I wanted to avoid something, right? Katina talked about, hey, I wanted to fix something. right? Tasha just like, I mean, I gave you a chance and that's what's it.
But what she did say though is that she exhausted all of her resources.
Yes.
She did everything in her power that she knew to do, and that person still didn't show up.
Right.
Because after the resources exhausted, baby, we don't have anything left.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm listening.
No,
what were you gonna say?
baby, I'm just you when you're flowing.
Well, listen, I have another question. Let's start with you, Katina. What the patterns that you see? We just talked about one about you know, just wanting to fix. What did that cost you?
It costs a lot. It costs, a part of who I am, because I'm showing up for this person, but this person is not showing up for me. And then I'm you again, like you're giving all of who you are, constantly pouring and pouring, but you're shrinking in the process, so you lose a lot. You lose relationships, you lose your authentic self, because it's like, you're trying to navigate your life around them to, you know what I'm saying, to try to fit the mold, but you can't fit the mold. So you're not really being yourself. You're not, because because you want this man to like you. You want this man to love you. You want this man to pour into you. You want him to give you the things that you desire as a woman. And when he's not giving you that, then you're going out, you're not in alignment. And when you're not in alignment, then you lose a lot,
Yes.
because you're constantly depleting yourself to try to make him be this man that he's not the man for you.
Yeah.
Now he may go over and be with Becky and be everything that Becky need him to be. Right. Becky may have different standards.
Right.
And what I've learned over the years is when you don't set boundaries and you don't have standards, and you're constantly trying to be a nurturer to a man, men don't really want that. They really don't want a woman to nurture them. Like, they don't want a woman to be their mother.
Right.
They want a woman that's going to have some backbone and say, listen, you got to get it together. You need to get a job. You need to get a car, whatever it is. You know, like, I can't help you. I can't assist you in whatever it is you need to be this whole man that for me. Right. And so that's where I fell off, is because I didn't understand that and I didn't know that. It's like, I'm going to make him, I need him to be this. And
see, I have a question. But listen, I have a question. Because I want to know, why is that? Because I remember a friend, we were trying to hook her friend up. Now, mind you, they gave me the background. He liked this, he likes that. And, so for me, it was like, okay, well, great. I'm not your type of tea, and I'm cool with that. I gave my authentic self. I'm just chit-chatting, talking. Come to find out, he turns around and say, well, why I can't talk to her? Now, mind you, the peoples came back and said, you was flirting. I say, no, flirty Tasha don't talk like this. I was being me. Me is too harsh sometimes for certain people. But the moment I soften up, you run off. But the moment I give you, like, look, I'm not, no, we not. I give you, my homegirl, my bro type thing. You all intrigued. That's I like that. Why? Why is it that, my authentic self, I'm sweet, I'm nice. I can be rough around the edges, and I'm okay with that. If that's not for you, then that's fine. Because I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm okay with that. Because I love me. I love Tasha. I've been loving Tasha all her life, and I can't be anybody but me. But that was the question I had recently with a friend. I was like, but when I give you sweetness, you don't want it. But I give you gutter me, you in love.
So
why?
the question is,
why do you like the rough meat?
Why do men like the more?
That's on a men's segment.
Because I want to know, though.
It's a man's question. I'll say this, and we'll deal with it. That's a good question that we'll ask.
Okay.
Ask the men, but I think it has kind of to do with what Katina was saying. Men don't necessarily want to be babied or treated like, a son, or talked to a certain way. And sometimes men just like the challenge of it. Sometimes if it's too easy, it's like, nah, kind of what you were saying earlier. Like, men sometimes like the woman that's going to give them that extra, little fire, a little passion. So it's just about balance, right? You can't just be Susie Homemaker all the time.
Right.
And, you coming home and, you got your little aprons on and all of this type of stuff. Now, sometimes you need to have them heels on when you get home.
Exactly.
Some heels on.
Yeah.
Let that
But
meet.
I just think it's that balance, because if they sometimes may take that for granted. It's like, we were just talking about this at the launch.
Mhm.
But that's what I would say. But we're going to ask the brothers that,
Okay.
you
Because I've just never been the type, and even to talk about the have I found characteristics. If I see it, I'm like, nope, been there, not doing it. Because I did get into a situation where I was like, oh, this is familiar, so comfortable. And then you showed me that one thing that made me say, oh, I'm gonna fall back.
Mhm.
And I was okay with my decision, because I was like, I've been here before, don't want to repeat that. So for me, I don't want to repeat the same thing,
Yeah.
because repeating, that old situation is the reason why I'm not here. And then also, I don't want to bring that into something that's new.
Mhm.
But again,
That's
still being my authentic self, because that's all I know how to be. And my thing is, you don't take me as I am, and I'm not perfect. I got flaws, but hey, I know how to
Yeah,
fix
you're
it
gonna
up.
you're gonna be you.
But I'm me, and you accept that or not.
Okay.
So, okay, so I'm gonna go here next, and then we're gonna start over with another question. But what has your pattern cost you in the relationships you've been in?
That's a great question. The patterns in the relationships that I've been in, my patterns has cost me to be single at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It cost me a lot of arguments, a lot of uncomfortable situations
Mm-hmm.
because of my patterns. And when you realize your patterns, now that I realize my patterns as a person, now I choose differently. But
Yeah.
when you don't understand your patterns, you choose different people. Well, you choose the same person, but just in a different body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I'm
good.
saying?
Yes, we
So
do.
yeah, so my
Yes, we do.
patterns has cost me a lot. It cost me to be single right now, because I have dated some great guys. And due to my past patterns, used to chaos, creating arguments that do not exist, has cost me to be where I am right now. And ladies, being single is not that bad, because to be honest, I've never been single since I was like 16 years old. So right now, the singleness for me is like reinventing myself.
That's
Yeah.
good.
And now I'm learning to date myself and to know who
Yeah.
I am, and to be the person that
good.
I need to be for the person that I want to be with.
That's good.
So I'm enjoying
That's
this,
good.
this space right now.
That's
yeah.
good.
I need it. Not only am I enjoying it, it was definitely needed. So yeah.
That's
That's
really
good.
good. That's really good. Maximizing your singleness.
Yes.
Because sometimes we want to move. We're so uncomfortable with the question of, why am I single? What's wrong with me? What happened? You know what I mean? You're wrestling with that rather than doing just the work and say, well, wait a minute, I'm single.
Right.
Let me spend some time with me.
With me. Yeah.
And even when I went through my first divorce and was single for that 9 or so years, that's what I wrestled with. Just I needed to get comfortable with being by myself and doing things on my own. I remember one Father's Day, my kids didn't do nothing. I took myself to Del Frisco.
You better be able to celebrate yourself when others don't.
Absolutely.
As a single father, I took myself to Del Frisco's over in the Galleria. Kids come, where you at? I'm having dinner with me.
I'm doing me.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I think that's really good to recognize, hey, it's okay to be single when you recognize the patterns. Is when you haven't recognized the patterns and you're repeating that over and over again, then I think that's where it just does more damage.
Absolutely.
And then
Go ahead.
you'll continue to attract the same type of people. You know what I mean? When you haven't put in the work. Like my singleness, and the reason I'm single too is like learning to date me, learning to be okay with who I am, learning to be okay with, it's okay. It's not a they make it seem like it's like you walking around with a disease or something.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
you single. Why you single? Well, because I choose to be single.
Absolutely.
I could be out here dating, but I
Right.
choose not to, because there's some areas within myself that I said I want to work on this with me before I go into another. Try to pursue or go on dates and dating a man or whatever, because I don't. First of all, if I see something broken in him, it must be still something broken in me.
Right.
Because because it's attracting me to him, and I don't want that. So I'm taking little step by step. I'm working on me first, and then because I want to be able to attract the love that I exude. So I'm showing up in ways that I've never shown up before, whether it's with my children, whether it's with my grandchildren. I'm showing up for me.
Yeah.
And saying, you know what, if this is something I want to do, then fine, I'll do it. If it's not, then I don't, you know what I mean? Because I think sometimes we just compromise. I don't want to compromise just to say I'm with somebody.
Right.
Talk.
You know what I
say
mean?
that.
So when I see the pattern, when I meet somebody, I'm gonna know based off your conversation what you say. I need to know, what was your relationship with your mama?
Yeah. Let's start with that.
What is your relationship with your daughter? Because if I know how you are with your mom, and it could be a little tricky, because he could be great to his mother, but still
Not
treat
great in
you.
relationships.
Right. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But my question is, how do you treat your daughter if you have a daughter? Or would you want a man to treat your daughter this way?
Mhm.
So I asked the hard questions early on, because I don't even want to waste my time.
Yeah.
You know,
But that's smart.
I need to know.
I agree
So
with that.
so who want to tackle this? Okay.
You go ahead.
Okay.
Tasha, you say.
I'm sorry.
I agree, because after my divorce, I dealt with that situation it took me 6 years.
Mhm.
So in that 6 years, I was still a parent regardless of what was happening. And I've questioned it, or I had conversations with friends like, well, how do you single? What's wrong with you? You bored? What, you don't have nothing going on? Because for me, after the marriage, I still had to parent. Life was still life.
Right.
So for me, it was like, okay, girl, you can, cry in a corner, but you still got to do this. So I was too busy to worry about, oh, I don't have a man. I'm single. Girl, you got kids. You got stuff to do. Life is life. And we got to keep it moving. So for me, I never experienced that pity party that some may have, because I had to instantly just continue with life. I dealt with it because I didn't jump into something instantly. So I want to say my healing process was within the 6 years that I was still being busy. And then again, like I mentioned, I have family. Like, for those that don't know, James, I'm gonna learn how to say that in public. But I would go to them and we would talk about things, and we would have these couch conversations that was refreshing and healing for me. Because I remember I'd be like, look, I'm finna come over there. And we're gonna talk. And it was there were conversations that I needed. So it was like, okay, you go into or you meet somebody, this is what you need to talk about. You need to figure this part out. And I was like, you know what, I never thought about it. How you acting when you mad? You like putting your hands on other people's kids? What we doing here? Do you handle, how are you under pressure? Things I never thought about. So again, for me, I never experienced certain things that certain singles experience, the pity part. I didn't. My cousins, they gonna pull me up and be like, come on here. We gonna talk about it. We gonna pray about it, but you not finna do this. We not doing it. And then I'm not that person. I'm not the one, and I am a parent. I got stuff to do. And I got people that's, I had somebody calling right now.
Absolutely.
Mommy, what you doing? I just told you I was at a podcast. Why are you calling my phone? So you know what I'm saying? My life is busy. It's running like that. So most of the time I don't have that idle time to just sit and think and be sad. And no, we're not doing it.
But you know what? I want other women to actually hear really what Tasha said, because I know that for some of us, we're looking for love, but your kids need the love that you're trying to give to somebody else at that moment. I know that sometimes things have happened to us in life that it's like, I want to be loved. Well, love yourself first and take care of your kids, because some of us are bringing people into our lives because we're not asking the questions that Katina was talking about, asking the hard questions. And can I say it's okay to be alone? It's okay to thrust yourself into your children, because y'all, they grow up like this, but they need that love that you would be giving the wrong person and the time you'd be wasting with the wrong person. You can be giving that to your children. Yeah. Just try it. Because I can tell you something that I know for me. I was going through life living a lie, and I wasn't focused and concentrated. And this is in a marriage, that some of the things I felt like I wasn't a good parent because I'm just not focused. I'm in la la land, surviving. It's called survival mode. Get out of survival mode. And if you are single, it is okay to be single and just take care of your children. So, Bridget, say what you're going to say, because you got a lot to say.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of survival mode, that was a great statement that you made. And that was the reason why I got married. When I did get married, I was in survival mode. I was coming out of a relationship with someone that was going through some legal issues. And we had accumulated a lot of things together. And I did have one son that was young. And so when I met my husband, that was my husband, well, came to be my husband, I was in survival mode. I was scrambling. I need someone to come in and help me pay these bills. I got a single son. I got a house note, a mortgage, and all the things. And yeah, so speaking of survival, I actually, honestly, I did love him. At least I thought I did at the time. Or was I just in love just with the things that we did? Or he made me feel good. And so that's another topic too. We can't fall in love with how we feel as opposed to what it really is, right?
Yes.
Right.
And so I did get married out of survival mode, and it cost me a lot. And speaking of kids, I was in a marriage and I had my oldest son, and didn't spend a lot of time with him. And we have those conversations today, and I am still trying to rebuild the relationship with him because I missed so much time with him being in the same house, but being in my marriage.
Yeah.
Present but absent.
Yeah.
Present but absent.
Yeah, I did that.
So yeah.
You know, let me say
Listen,
something.
we all over here like,
reflecting.
Right.
oh my God.
You know, something Tasha was saying a minute ago, just being busy, and we can thrust ourselves into life because it ain't gonna stop. But then also just being mindful that, okay, well, when those kids are gone, because if you're not doing that work parallel to life, and I'm still working on me, if you thrust everything into the kids or into the marriage or whatever it is, you said it earlier, losing yourself. Then when those kids are gone at 18 and then you're at home, now you're going to feel really alone if you haven't really done the work. Like you got to be preparing for when they're gone, right? And just, operating in this space where, hey, I'm taking care of my responsibilities, but I'm also making sure that I'm taking care of me and building myself up as well. Right. So that you can attract what it is that you truly desire. Because if you don't, you're going to continue to attract those patterns. Because, it's going to reflect. It's a mirror. Yeah. Like when you meet somebody and they've got these things going on, you best believe you need to go take a look at that mirror and say, well, wait, but what's going on in me? Yes. That I would attract someone like that.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's a hard question to ask and to answer.
It's a very hard question. And I'm going to say this because you're saying that. I hear the Holy Spirit. Whenever we are women that have been in abusive relationships, when you are not healed of the abuse, there is this crazy way that you call it in. And not only does the man abuse you, but your children abuse you. People, friendships, you're abused in the friendship. You know why? Because you're not healed of that. That is we normalize this for so long that it just we're uncomfortable if somebody is just being nice to us, right? No, if they're not bringing the heat and talking ugly to you, and then you take it because you're used to it, but it don't make you feel good. We have to be healed of that. And I want to say this: my husband and I are over the singles ministry at the Word of Restoration International Church.
Yes.
Something.
Yeah.
Yes,
That was
thank you,
awesome.
God.
Please talk on it. Yes.
And something that God has placed on our hearts to do. Once our apostle Charles Perry Jr. once him and our first lady give us the green light, but we're gonna start doing activities when we meet in person, right? And those activities are going to make people think, right? Because sometimes we'll say we're healed. It's like, but how do you know that unless you get in a relationship? How does that report card look? What's the progress report? Because you don't know until you get in a relationship and somebody touches that place and you get to say, you know what? I thought I was healed and whole. Well, what we're gonna do is activities so that you can see. Well, because you're gonna be able to feel, yeah, that didn't make me feel good. I need to do some work.
Right.
Because we have to do the work so that we can attract, as Katina was talking about, and James just said, because if right now you're attracting something that you know you don't want, look at the man in the mirror. Isn't that what Michael Jackson
That's
said?
what he
That's what he
said.
said.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's where you need to
See,
start.
I like that.
So
I love
listen,
it.
let me ask this question. And whoever wants to take this, but have you met somebody and you rejected them? They seem like they were right, but it was something about the picture you didn't like because it wasn't familiar.
Yep. Mhm.
But they had the character.
Absolutely.
They had
Yep.
the character,
Yep.
and you rejected them.
Yep.
Let's talk about that because we do that as women.
I wasn't attracted.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be honest.
Okay.
Guy
You
is
popping balloons.
hey popping.
Pop goes the weasel, and
What?
the weasel goes pop.
And I'm popping. And that's the thing. Great guy. I mean, doing well for himself, got everything. I'm just not physically attracted. But with that being said, because again, I had this conversation with a friend, and I also remember from the launch when a woman pointed it out about being friends with somebody you want more, but they don't want it.
Yeah.
I didn't engage and entertain with him to make him feel this. I wanted more than what we had. So I kept a distance, but I was like, I'm not for the games. I don't want to play with this man because he has all those things that men you have. That's great. I applaud you because you worked hard for that. That is yours. I've never been a type of woman to, I'm gonna be with you because you got XYZ. T-Cross can work and I can get that too. But my thing was, I don't want to hurt his feelings and make him feel some type of way as if, okay, I got a chance and we can be more than friends. Even though he said, hey, you know what? I don't want to be in the friend zone. With that being said, I was like, oh, let me file back because I'm not trying to go no further than us being friends because I wasn't attracted.
Yeah.
But again, great man. So yes, I have pass you on. Let me help you find somebody. How about that? What was the question again?
It was, have you met somebody and they had the character, but they didn't fit your description of what you actually like? Because I'm not attracted to
Well, I think
you,
that, specifically, have you ever rejected somebody too quickly because they didn't, they didn't meet
they
something?
didn't fix they
didn't meet
didn't
something.
that picture
It could be attraction
in your head.
It could be,
Oh,
economically, they didn't make
absolutely.
enough, or whatever the case.
But they
may
had
be.
the character.
I
Like that's
But good
intact.
guy.
That's intact. Like they got character.
Yeah.
Won't cheat on you.
Yeah. No,
I ain't do any of that.
Yeah,
We'll be a
no.
loyal
Well,
man.
let me say this. Okay, so number one, you don't know what anybody will or won't do when you just not meet them. You gotta look at that over time,
Mhm.
right? Because what I'm hearing is that he was a good guy. Because I talked about that that night. Good guys finishing last
Mhm.
because sometimes women don't want just a good guy, a nice guy.
But it was the fact I wasn't attracted. Now, if I was attracted,
But she said he's a good
course,
guy.
He is a great guy, just not for me.
Right.
Because I
Well, he went
can't.
over 6 foot.
He's tall, fit. I'm not attracted to you.
Yeah.
And I can't. And I would have friends go, but girl, I say, girl, that's what he got. He got that on his own merits.
So
Kudos. But I was never physically attracted.
So you wasn't attracted. Not that he
Correct.
wasn't an attractive guy.
He wasn't. I was not attracted to him.
No, I'm saying, was he an attractive guy?
Not to me.
To somebody else. To somebody else. To somebody else. Okay.
It's not to me.
Yeah.
To somebody else.
That's
So,
fair.
Yeah, that's a
fair.
great question
That's
because
good.
I met a guy who had great character. I was very attracted to him. And I dated him for a while. I did. But being so used to my last relationship, I fumbled that. And I'm sitting here today really upset with myself because he had great characteristics and maybe it was a few things that I didn't like, but I could have lived with. But what was mostly important is that he did fit that script. He was a great guy and he was somebody that I could see myself with. But with my past relationship, going back to being comfortable and familiar and used to, I told him, you know what? You're a great guy, but I think I'm gonna work on this. Mind you, what I was working on had already showed me who he really was before the proof was ever exposed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But just being comfortable and so used to and afraid to start something new because you don't know what's on that side.
Yeah.
But you know the chaos that you've been dealing with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you rather deal with what you know instead of trying something new, not knowing what's gonna happen. And what they say, fear is what you want on the other side or something like that. If you go to the other side and find out, it will probably be better than what you had.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah.
just being so comfortable in the situation, I'm like, oh, I'm used to this shit with sugar on it.
Uh-huh. Well,
You know what I'm saying? I'm used to this
uh-huh.
instead of the real pure sugar over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not used to the pure sugar.
Yeah.
I'm used to the shit with the sugar on top.
Yeah.
See, but that's why I love my family, because they will not allow me to be dumb.
It's not about being dumb.
But I'm saying for me,
Okay.
this is why I love my family, because I can go to them and I'm like, ooh, went to Tank James. And I was like, hey,
Thanks.
I'm sorry. I can't. I've never called you James. But I'm gonna try. Went to him. I was, ooh, I want to date this dude, blah, 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 blah. I was all happy. He popped that bubble quick. Well, look here. Look here, Tasha. This is what we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna need you to read this and I need you to ask these questions. And they was like, well, okay, cousin, yeah, we got a point, but just go ahead. He came at me like, this what we doing. She came with the same energy. It was just a lot of love. But for me to accept what was given to me, because I know it was given out of love, I wanted that, because I was like, I don't know. And what they gave me to read was so helpful. And I was like, again, God, thank you for my family that won't allow me to just go into things blind. Thank you for the family that has the knowledge that I don't have, that's willing to pour into me. Thank you for them being my fountain and I'm not the drain, because I also want to use what is given to me. I want to incorporate that in my everyday living. So a lot of the things that we've talked about and that I've heard, I can't say, no, I know, I understand, because I don't. Because one, I'm not going to spend too much time with you. It's like, hey, I'm going to give you about 90 days and then we see what you really acting like. But again, sometimes I can also feel when you're not right.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
are we out of time? That's the bill.
No, we can.
Okay, we can still keep talking.
Go ahead, Katina.
Katina, you gonna
So
say?
what I was gonna say is, what the blessing in with you, Tasha, right? Tasha, you have people in your circle that holds you accountable. So accountability.
Yeah.
Everybody don't have that,
Right.
That's what I
right?
feel,
So
yeah.
that's a blessing, because they're gonna protect and shield you, right, from before you even go that route. Like, you have someone. But then what would you say for the women that don't have the accountability, don't have the uncles
Support.
and the support, the fathers, to the women that will fall privy to to men and just don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, what to look out for, what the signs,
I would honestly tell a young woman, a single woman, what is it that you want? Is he showing you that? If he's not showing that, walk away. Because how long, or what does it, you've been there before, because you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. So you've been here before. Is this individual giving you what you want? And then again, you have those that, well, I want to try. Why are you trying? Because you're single and lonely? No, ma'am. Go get your dog. Go do something. Find something healthy to do, because that's unhealthy. You've been there before. But again, you want to get away from your past. So again, I like a checklist, because I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to go back to what I just came from. I don't want
and waste time.
Right.
So
So
that's
again,
good.
you get that and see if this is what you want. And it's okay to say, I don't want to fool with you. That's okay. Love you first.
Yeah, that's
So I would definitely give that.
I also think it starts with, you need to define and know what you want.
Exactly.
You just got to know, right? And be able to set those boundaries. And if you know that your past relationships and experiences were chaotic and that's just what you were accustomed to and you were used to, like Bridget was saying, then you got to be honest with yourself and say, hey, I'm moving like this and I'm running off potentially good candidates because I haven't dealt with whatever that past trauma, whatever that past, drama was. And it's going to cause you to continue to stumble in relationships. And you're going to, I think the word fumble.
Yeah, you're gonna fumble good relationships.
Fumble good relationships.
And what you're saying is not for me, I wasn't saying that I didn't know. I said I went back because it was a comfortable situation. And I knew what I was already dealing with. And it really wasn't that bad, but the other thing was better. I just knew that that's where I felt comfortable and I wanted it to work. So a lot of times as women, we go back to certain things that we're familiar with because we're thinking that we can fix it. Just like Katina said, we thinking we can fix it, especially when the person is falling on a knife and pleading and begging and saying, all the right things. And you're thinking, okay, well, maybe this time, which may be the third time, maybe this time it'll work. You know what I'm saying? So I did, again, the question was, I found somebody, great characteristics, great guy, someone I could see myself with, chose what I was used to and lost what I should have explored.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good.
I want to close with this because
wait, can I say something before you say that? Okay, so I met someone, right? And I really was liking him, and I was like, I've been single for X amount of years and abstinence for a certain amount of years, and so I wanted to go in head first, right? He met the description and everything. I was completely attracted to him, resources, he had all of that. But he wasn't ready for me. Right. And so, but I asked him the hard questions. I asked him, well, I've never been married. I desire to get married one day. He said, well, I've been married multiple times. His wife passed on. And he just did not have a desire at this particular point in his life that he wanted to get remarried again, right? And I respect that and I understand that. But I had to tell him the hard thing, like, then I'm not your person. That was the hardest thing for me, is to tell him I'm not your person. Because I didn't want, because I understand the pattern, right? So I didn't want to go invest my time a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then he'll tell me, well, in the beginning, I told you I never wanted to get married. So I'm learning. I've learned to pay attention to what they say and what they do. To keep me from, to going down that road.
And
That's
so
good.
I appreciate this. It's almost like when we start these conversations, it's almost like we got to have a part 2 because it's a lot more to be said. But what I want to hone in on in closing, Tasha said that she has people in her life to help her to navigate through, finding people and just listening, right? What if, as women, instead of us just getting in relationships, what if we have a good friend like a Katina or a good friend like a Tasha or a good friend like a Bridget, and we say, hey, let me talk to you. I want you to meet this guy. Tell me what you think. What's wrong with somebody else putting eyes on it? We put eyes on, when we do a document, we say, hey, read this and see if you see any discrepancies, any. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with the double check versus, no, I know what I want? Because sometimes we know what we want, but that's not what we need.
Absolutely.
Right? So let's maybe, just a suggestion. If I meet James, hey, Bridget, let's come meet him. Hey, Katina, tell me what you think. Ask questions that I might not know to ask, or I wouldn't ask because I don't want to be intrusive because I don't want to lose. Well, let a friend help you win. How about that? Now,
That's good.
I like it.
That's good.
We hope that this has blessed people today. Because I appreciate you ladies first before we end this. Thank you, Katina. Thank you, Tasha. Thank you, Bridget. All 3 of you have been on here before. It was a pleasure to have you on again, because you guys are filled with a plethora of wisdom and experience that we can help somebody. And I know today you have helped somebody. So thank you for, when we place the call, like Everest College, you answered. Okay?
Absolutely.
All right, you answered the Love and Truth podcast. But baby, go ahead and close us out.
Thank you guys for joining us on this episode. As my wife said, hopefully you took something away from this conversation. We're definitely going to follow up with a part 2. And then we're going to bring the men on and get their perspective in the next episode. So thank you guys. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.